Hey, Warrior Saints. Glad to have you beautiful people with us as we continue our conversation from yesterday.
He does. And then I think we shift into that idea of what does that look like then in our commitment to the church, because the church becomes a place that that is designed to theoretically help us with that commitment to God, but it becomes another place where we have a commitment test, if you will, where our level of commitment is regularly tested. Our level of action is regularly tested. And we're given many opportunities to put that commitment to God into action if we so choose.
Yeah.
So how do you do it? What do you see with it?
It's, I mean, look, you and I've worked hard at the parish we serve to make it simple.
Mm.
And we came up with this thing we call E3, right? I mean, think about what we created. We worked hard on it. Educate, enrich, and empower. And anyone can be a member of our community. You don't even have to be an Orthodox Christian. To receive the sacraments, you have to become an Orthodox Christian. But in the meantime, anybody can be a member of our community and be with us and pray with us and work with us and all that kind of stuff. But you got to do E3, educate, enrich, and empower. So it's simple, but we expect that people come, and we do how many, 10 Bible studies a month? I mean, whatever the number is, we expect come to one of them. And that means you're going to have to sacrifice, something. Sports for the kids, or if you are a kid, a sports game, you know what I mean? Like, we do our best to scatter them all over the month so that there's ample opportunity, but you're going to have to sacrifice. The second one, enrich. I mean, that's our worship. We enrich our lives through the community that we are together, the fellowship and the worship. Well, sometimes it's tough and even for me, and I'm the priest for heaven's sake, to get up on a Sunday morning, and go to church every Sunday, right? Or to attend the other services throughout the week and throughout the month and the year. I mean, but if you mean it, you do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the last E, we empower others through our giving back. And that means our tithing and our financial contributions, but also our hands, right? Like we serve in whatever service it may be, whether physically helping, people build this, that, or the other, feeding homeless soup kitchens, whatever we call that kind of stuff, giving back. And, that means sacrifice. On a Saturday when we go to a soup kitchen, you may want to sit home and watch college football or whatever. Well, do you do it, right?
Yeah.
And, you do it if you mean it. So,
Yep. And if you really mean it, then we know you mean it because of the actions that come with it. Like, that's why I said earlier, like, the church gives us opportunities to live out that commitment to God. If faith is really an action verb, which we know it is from Scripture, then the actions that go along with having faith mean that we live out our commitment. We do what we need to do. We do the requisite action that goes along with loving others, that goes along with loving God. And that means that we have to be taught, i.e., we have to be educated. We have to be enriched in our lives, which we do through our worship. And then we have to put it into practice through that empowerment. We have to get out there and actually do stuff.
Yeah.
And it's uncomfortable because we don't want to do stuff. I want to sit home. I had a buddy text me today. Am I watching the baseball game? Like, no. It's the middle of the afternoon. I'm at work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's like this mentality that's where the commitment lies to the baseball game, then your commitment's not going to be to your work. Like, there's always going to be a trade-off. But if my commitment is to my family, then my commitment goes to doing the work. My commitment, all of that rambling, is to the church, then I am willing to do the requisite action that goes along with that, which is ultimately an expression of my commitment to God.
Right. Totally. Here's a hard one. I'm going to get nasty and people are going to get mad and write dirty things, but it's because we're getting called out. With, when I was raised, the years that I was raised, there were never games on Sundays.
Yeah.
And I was raised, farther east, than where we are now. And it was, a little bit more, of a Christian background. But it was just, there were no games on Sundays, not for any team I ever played for. Today, I mean, that's out the window. And I get the reason many people are not Christians. Okay, fine. And that there's too many games because there's so many sporting leagues and there's not enough time on Saturday. And I get all of it. I don't want that to change. That's not my business. That's not my concern. But here's the hard thing. When someone commits to being a member of a church and that conflict arises, what do you do? Right? That's a hard one. And look, it is super easy for me to sit here and say that. My girls didn't play sports, so I didn't have to worry about it. So I was never faced with it. So I know it's easy. And there are people in our community who struggle with it. And I love them and think they're amazing, awesome people. I'm not calling any one person out. I'm just saying, for the sake of this conversation, that's where rubber meets road, baby. That's a hard one. Because if you are committed to God and committed to living a life in the church, and anything gets in the way, what do? Right? And I do not judge or never would throw anyone out if they decided to put their kids in games, on Sundays. That's not my business. That's between them and God. I'm just asking that question so that they might ask that question to test their own commitment to their church.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real thing.
It's hard.
It's a very real thing. I also grew up further east than we are now,
Yeah.
and games did not exist on Sunday. So I get that. They didn't even open liquor stores or beer distributors on Sundays because of blue laws.
Yeah.
But it was all of that stuff has eroded now.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't mean that we have to fight against society, that they have to follow our values. What it means is we are now given more and more opportunities to put into action what we say we think. And that's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And it becomes an increasingly difficult thing to do.
There's what you say exposes two different ways to deal with stuff. One of them is get out there and, lobby and be angry and change the world and everything around, which is great. And there are some who are fighting that. But the question we're asking is, okay, regardless of what the world proffers, how do you respond?
Right.
And your reaction, your response is your business. What you have to,
Yeah. And rather than look at it as a fight, looking at it as an opportunity to really ask myself the hard questions and actually put into practice what I'm saying and see it as an opportunity to do that. Like in those moments, I think we often will think that we're persecuted because of these kinds of things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is not what Christian persecution looks like.
Right.
The icon of the life of St. George is what Christian persecution looks like. That's what me not getting my way looks like, and having a hard time with it and wanting everyone around me to change so that things become easier for me.
Yeah.
And when we do that, I think when we start shifting away from that mentality, we're able to start having better successes because we're now being honest with ourselves and with the situations in front of us.
Hey, Warrior Saints, thank you so much for being with us. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and share. It helps us get the word out there. And if you want more, visit us at warriorsaints.org and subscribe to Understanding the Bible. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.